Hey Sparks, don't mind me, I'm just in my camping era. Kind of smells like urine in here, I'm not gonna lie. The fan hasn't been on for a while. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Sparkplug TV. My name is Chris and I do car reviews for literally everybody, not just car enthusiasts. Please don't forget to like this video, comment something down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video, which is whenever I can. Thank you for your support. Speaking of support, thank you to the Garage app for sponsoring today's video. If you're a car fanatic like me, then you'll also want to be able to share your passion with other gearheads. That's why I'm super excited to announce today's newest sponsor, the Garage app. You'll not only be able to showcase your own cars and motorcycles in your virtual garage, but you'll also be able to search for specific makes and models and chat with people who have them. Before you go to some event like Cars and Coffee, for example, you can also search up the guest list and see who's going to be there. Pretty smart. Think of it like show and tell, but for adults. Link in the description below. Well, as you can tell, I have the Ford F-150 Lightning XLT. Thank you to Ford for lending me this, first of all. This thing is so cool. It garners a whole lot of attention from people, and it's so incredible. And I will have a full review out on it in terms of its driving capabilities and its tech in the next video. For this video, I wanted to do a couple of things. Ford has advertised this as a generator. It's meant to be an all-encompassing truck. It is the #1 selling truck in the US, and the Lightning adds more capabilities, and one of them being a generator. So in the back, it's got a 240 volt plug that is typical on a generator. I don't know much about generators, but I do know that that kind of plug is typical on a generator. If I'm not mistaken, according to Ford, you can power your house for up to 4 days on the full battery capacity alone if you have the Ford-specific charge box for your house. It will not only charge your car, but it will also then, if the power goes out, the power will then be outputted into your house and use it as a backup, which is incredible in my opinion. And well, that's what I was going to be doing with my rented Springdale trailer. However, I ran into a couple of snafus. I know that it has a range of 287 miles. And I also knew that when I put a trailer behind it, that it would cut the battery in half. What I didn't do was account for the types of chargers in the state of North Carolina, the locations of them, when I needed to stop and charge it, and how much mileage I actually had. So my plan was to get to the campsite and use this at the campsite as a generator. As you can see in this next couple of clips, I actually ended up stranded at a Piggly Wiggly with a level 2 charger. So anyways, here's the clips. So when I entered the vehicle, it immediately came up with add new trailers. So we're gonna name this one Batty. Length from the ball to the trailer's rear bumper. Wow. We'll say about 23 feet because it's a 21-foot trailer. This is really cool. Trailer width, so we'll say 7 feet just in case. Height, probably, we'll say 10 feet. Please enter the trailer's gross weight. That's rude. Don't ever ask me my weight. We'll say 5,000. It's supposed to be 4,500, but I'm just gonna confirm. It will take a few miles of towing this trailer to get the most accurate initial range. Your range estimate will become more personalized over time. Interesting. Okay. So we've got that down. I went from 280 miles of range to 130. That, I mean, I expected it to be cut in half, but that's a lot. That's woo! Did you guys know that I'm in my hat era? I really did not anticipate this to be such an anxiety-inducing experience when it comes to the battery. What I can say about this experience so far is that it is actually a very pleasant towing experience. It's got all of the right features that you need to help you tow a vehicle, and it's still a very quiet ride. It tows very well. You know, because I entered in all of that information, it's actually not swaying very much. But I have 124 miles to go, and I have 108 miles in battery range. Help. Help! I mean, again, very quiet, very comfortable ride, very confident towing. Also, the adaptive cruise control and the steering assist has actually been very, very helpful. It's not panicky, it brakes when it needs to. It's almost like you can forget that you've even got something on the back. I am here in Kingston, North Carolina, only about 65 miles outside of my hometown of Raleigh. And I am currently at a Piggly Wiggly. I don't even know if you can see that with this lighting. That's my trailer. And if we come all the way over here, about 200 feet this way, this is what was towing said trailer. I made it about 60 miles before I had to stop, because by the time that I got close enough to a charging station, I did not feel comfortable going 30 more miles because I was going to run out of battery. So I am here in Kingston at a level 2 charging station. With the trailer, I have 30 miles. Without the trailer, I have about 70 miles. It is 62 miles to the beach. The other thing is that it's hot out. So the power grid is running on full steam. Therefore, I'm only getting, well, you can't see it. Well, you can kind of see it. I'm only getting 7 kilowatts an hour. And so you know what? It's not Ford's fault. It's the infrastructure's fault. It's the fact that we don't have enough level 3 chargers in America. But even so, even if you did have a level 3 charging station for every public charging station, you would still only be able to drive for an hour, park, charge for an hour, drive another hour, stop, charge for, you know, so it's just 1 hour go, 1 hour stop, 1 hour go, 1 hour stop. And so thankfully, my friend had a 2022 Ford Explorer Timberline. You can see the link up here for that video. And thank God that thing could tow 5,000 pounds, because this trailer weighs about 4,000 pounds. And so we ended up at the beach. Beautiful, gorgeous campground, you know, right on the coast. And this thing actually came in really, really handy. I wasn't able to power the trailer with it, but I was able to use the zone lighting. The zone lighting was incredibly useful, especially when it became dark, because the camper didn't have enough lighting. Thank God, too, the campground also had a level 2 style charging port. And this came with a level 2 charging adapter. So thankfully, I was able to fully recharge it by 8 hours. But because of that fact, I wasn't comfortable enough to use it as a generator, which I'm really upset about. But I mean, things happen, and my safety is more important than doing a trailer, you know, video. Thankfully, once I got back up to northern North Carolina, closer towards Smithfield, Smithfield had a generator. And so this time I was at least smart enough to plan my route according to the mileage that this had and according to how many miles it would take to get to Smithfield. It was 111 miles to get to Smithfield. When I started with the trailer, it had 130 miles, give or take. But with the speed that I was going and then the distance, and I didn't really do a lot of stopping and going, because stopping and going is better for an electric car. And I'm not kidding, by the time that I got to Smithfield, I was down to 6 miles to empty. You want to talk about range anxiety? I had the most range anxiety. And then thankfully, you know, it was up to 350 kilowatt hour charging station, but it only got up to about 109 kilowatts. Not bad. It took about 70 minutes to get from 5% up to 87%, which made me more comfortable to then leave back up to here. Now, the reason I'm making this part of the video is because I was actually hoping to do the generator portion of the video here. But because I have to get this trailer back to the owner and I have to tow it with this because I'm not gonna go and get my gas powered truck and do that whole thing. I'm not doing all that. So I'm unfortunately unable to do that. But what I can show you is me off-roading on the beach in this, and that was a time. This does have 4-wheel drive. It's got one motor on the front axle and one motor on the back axle, and it's got a differential lock as well. Fords, of course, are more than capable to go off-roading, and this was too. Take a look. Okay, well, now I am on gorgeous, sunny, beautiful, spectacular Topsail Beach, North Carolina. I've got it in off-road mode. The rear locking differential is currently on. The gauge cluster is set to the off-road mode, and we are going to do, you know, what it was meant to do. First I'm towing it, and next I'm gonna take it off-road. So let's find out and see what happens. We are on a pretty bumpy part of the beach. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh. It's so weird how quiet it is, but how, even with these radial tires, it's doing, that is so sick. There's also this cute little trail that leads to where we are on the dunes right now, and we took it over to here, and now we're gonna take it back. I mean, you can see in the drone shot that everything on this beach right now is nothing but pickup trucks, and it is so cool to be here. So there's only about like a half mile of this beach that's actually open for truck access. All right, so now we're gonna go on this cute little trail. I mean, it's not, there's like one dip up here. You know, I'm very satisfied with how this is performing off-road. I mean, not the craziest off-road experience, but it's still performing like it needs to. All right, I'm gonna do one more spin. So sick. So range anxiety aside, me unable to calculate my route and figure out the difference between a level 2 and a level 3 charger, I don't know. I don't always use these. All of that aside, this truck was tons of fun. It garnered a whole lot of attention. I really enjoyed it. And I will, in my next video, talk about all of the different tech and capability and all that good stuff in my next video. Ugh. All right, well, the sun's going down. I haven't taken a shower in like 24 hours, no joke. And I wanna go home and sleep in my own bed, even though the bed in there is actually pretty comfortable. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you again to Ford for loaning me this, and thank you to the Garage app for sponsoring today's video. I will see you guys on my next video where I will be showered. Bye. Hey Sparks, thanks for watching today's video. If you want more Sparkplug TV content, click right here. Right here. You got two options. Choose one, or both.